Welcome back, everybody. Map 2 Cobble going to start now here in the semifinals of the iBUYPOWER Fall Invitational. It's Luminosity versus Conquest. And you can see with the blue mark there on the left of the best of 3 indicator on your endgame overlay, Luminosity were the victors of that first map train, but not in the way that I don't think anyone would have predicted. But here we go. Conquest already now starting on the T side where they were very explosive on train, running out here into the B bomb site, but here's Bolt with 2, starting to get dinked up, or Goose rather, from the other side, but still able to find a third from behind the rock there. And now it is only Rush all by himself. Oh my gosh, Rush getting rushed, but he will pull open line Fur. He tries to work his way out towards that bomb, and Bolt is there with the 4th frag.
Clothesline, nice. You wrestling fan?
Not really.
Oh.
But I mean...
Me neither, to be fair.
When the ragdoll physics look like that, you gotta...
You gotta throw some of them in there.
Exactly.
So good hold from Luminosity, and for those of you that maybe aren't too familiar, Luminosity is Cobblestone. This is actually Conquest choice of map, which should be mentioned, because I know there's a lot of you that are here that weren't before when we were going through the veto stage. Luminosity yesterday brutalized Mythic. It was 16-8, and they're a team that are very good on Cobblestone. So coming into this map, me and Joey were looking forward to this one the most. We had no idea Train would be that close overall. On paper, I feel it's going to be close, but again, we kind of discussed this in a little break there, Joey. You never quite know. Like, predictions in CS are so hard because either players can stand up tall you're not expecting, or a couple can have a quiet game, and something that changes the whole dynamic of how it plays out. But Luminosity starting well with that pistol, and a Force Spike coming in for Conquest with Tech 9s, a Deagle, and Armor. Looking to land those 1Ds, looking to just rush in with the Tech 9s, but so far Luminosity have given nothing away.
Yeah, still just, I think, waiting for that flash. Now probably going to throw that incendiary over towards drop, as it does look again to be a split onto the B site here for Conquest. Probably just in an effort to get that bomb down. They're starting to drop off now. Well, both off the platform and through drop. But here's Bolt once again from pretty much the same position, starting to find some frags, and we'll find another long range onto Nafly. Rix is able to get the kill onto Steel. And the 1v4, will we find any more? Nope. It'll be Fur with the UMP. Close it out.
Great hold for Luminosity as well. That was a force for Conquest. Just losing the one player is perfect as far as they're concerned. So now see a Tech 9 on Fur with the UMP. Same with Steel. A couple of MP7s from Ass. This is going to be farming the frags, getting that money in the bank. You can see a couple P250s, but the rest is Glock, so it's kind of formality. Luminosity should be 3-0 up here. I'm curious to see what the strap we're going to see thrown into the mix. Here's a push onto long, trying to catch Fur. No one checks the corner though up on the hay bales, and he in turn will get fragged. There's 2, there's 3 actual tag. Fallen comes in to seal it up nicely. An explosive round goes very firmly in the way of Luminosity, but was expected. Here come the rifles.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just an effort of, hey, let's go A, let's kind of check out, see where people are playing. They don't get to see very, very much, as 2 players were out there towards long A. I don't think that you'll see onto the rifle round 2 players go out there again. And yeah, we won't. So the information that if that's what they were doing, the gathering didn't really help too much, because it's a very different A setup on this round. It's actually Fallen who will move in and find the opening frag onto Shazam. And that was from the mid room. Now we'll fall back up towards A.
Double ups for Luminosity in good positions. Cold behind the statue on the B site. Rips Nafly a new one, and now Rix is going to be dropping down into the zone and very nearly got himself a frag. Forced him out there. He pushes straight through. Fur holding the off angle behind the pillar. And that drops us to just 2 players remaining, and getting a sense of deja vu from that first half where Conquest went 6-0 behind. This should be 4-0, and it will be Conquest back onto another eco, so we're going to be following a very similar path.
But this time I'm telling my brain to hold off on jumping to conclusions, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it's just the first 4 rounds, I guess, unless something crazy happens with Daps and Rush. But the fact that, I mean, on the CT side, it's very important to start off. I feel like it could be so easy to let the pistol round and, of course, the next few slip away. On the CT side, just because the nature of that B site, but they lock it down, and then coming into the first rifle, Luminosity win it again. So, I mean, I guess what I'm really trying to say is Luminosity once again starting off strong on the side that, while definitely not very much disfavored, I think the CT side is a little disfavored on Cobblestone. But if they win 10-5 on the CT side, it will be nothing like what happened on Tran when they won 10-5 on the T side on one of the most, CT biased maps in the pool.
Exactly. That's the thing as well. In Cobblestone, like, T should be picking up a fair chunk of rounds. Again, it's saying Fur is going to get completely unchecked. And there's the first one giving his position away. He's got the M4. He should probably have done better from there, especially a player of his caliber. He'll get picked off, but more importantly, that's Conquest with an assault rifle now in the hands of Shazam. Now, I was about to say, I'd like to see him switch to that with Rix, because he has the Kevlar, so the aim punch will not be an issue for him. That's exactly what happens. Shazam's going to keep with the Tech 9. And yes, Luminosity with a double assault rifle should win this round, but it's how much damage can Conquest do before they do fall down.
I'm kind of concerned for Fallen here. He's at that connector door, but he will be spotted when the player's coming out over towards the stables, but still might just have his back, so he can bring down these players. Keeping his range, but I guess not far enough. Nafly is able to work his way in, find one headshot, but that'll be that. And Cold with 2 op kills to close it off. So Luminosity keeping the double ops here on the CT side. It is 5-0, but another rifle coming out and an op for Shazam going into round 6.
Now, Shazam had a really quiet first half on Train with the op on CT side, but then started to show up, like, big time when the roles reverse. So I'm curious to see if he's going to keep that form coming forward, because I think he could be a key player. We saw Fallen just taking over on Train. If Shazam can have a similar performance here, there's every chance that Conquest could win this and take us into Inferno, which is the 3rd map for those of you that were asking in chat before.
Don't answer them, Meadows. It says it on the screen very beautifully in the bottom right corner.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. It's cool. Wow, I'm getting trolled. Rip.
Yep.
Good old Twitch
hate to break it to you. I thought you were doing something nice. In reality, you were just being trolled.
Just being a good guy. I just get trolled again. Sad times. Either way, 1 minute deadlock has not been broken just yet from both teams. It's just going to be biding their time. I can understand this from Conquest. They've tried the aggressive plays. They got shut down. They've tried the fakes. They got shut down. So maybe just the all-out push through B tunnels is the way to go. The issue now is that Bolt is in a great position. Is that Molotov going to spread enough? It is. It forces him out of position into the open, and they will be picking up that frag. Pretty big one, but he got all the information. These Molotovs are there to counteract the push. Probably smoke's going to come down. No, they don't try and extinguish that smoke. They're going to wait afterwards instead. And in doing so, walking into the crosshairs of Coles. They're not going to use any of these 2 smokes that they have, but Coles to get himself another one, looking for a 3rd frag. He finally goes down. There is Riggs with one as well. 20 seconds left. Riggs has to go for the jugular. And they are somehow getting this round back, Conquest. It's all on Fallen, and Riggs picks him up. That is a round I was sure was going to Luminosity when Coles just tees off with 2 early frags.
Yeah, and even before that, almost the bigger deal was, I mean, everyone in that site was getting pretty blind or forced out from flashes and smokes, but those Molotovs, I think it was even double Molotovs, go down to stop Conquest from pushing in after they had used all their flashes, so then they've got to go in without, anything. They just try to work it. Cold gets 2. Immediately you think the round's going to fall apart, but they're able to drop off. Rick's pushing forward, getting some frags, and Conquest. A hard-fought round, but they will find the first for themselves on the T side. But not enough, of course, to disrupt the Luminosity game, and they go right back into double op setup and 3M4s.
Hopefully that's the start of something special for Conquest, so we can get a close map here. I see Shazam's already been tagged down to 35 at the early stages of round 7. Double ops again for Luminosity, one of which has fallen on long. And the other op is on statue for Coles, and he's been there a few times. It's going to get predictable, but the issue is it's such a difficult position to flush out with smokes, flashes, Molotovs. So it's, you can just stay there pretty much all the time. Nice peek from Fur, but he gets traded out from Shazam. Now the flashes come in from Steel. That will stop the push for now, but to be honest, the terrorists are okay with this. They can rotate. You can see the bombs drop there in Connector. And looking to work on towards the B tunnels once more.
And it looks like Naf will be the man with the challenge to go out and try to open up the site up against Colds, who has been doing a pretty good job with the AWP from behind the statue. He's going to be quite blind, though. And Nafly's worked his way around pretty wide, is able to spray control and find that frag. So the site will belong to the terrorist. Bolt's going to work over. He's been pretty deadly from this rock position, but he will only be able to get one. Now it's going to be Steel and Fallen. Steel going to get one through the smoke. That'll be Rix taken down. So into a 2-on-2. Op versus M4. Op AK, excuse me, versus Op M4 is what I was going for there. 2-on-2 pushing in. Steel will find Rush. That'll leave just Shazam over in KFC all alone. He can go there with his buddies. He gets shut down. The buffet is closed.
A bit weird that Conquest would go peeking there. Shazam, you could see at the back, was not in a position to help his teammate out, and so effectively it became 2-1v2s in favor of Luminosity. Even if he's got 35 HP, I still feel like peeking there is a good play from Shazam. Instead, he just waits in and you see what the result is. So Conquest let a round slip by that they probably should have had, on all honesty. I like this P90 pickup from Fur. Realizing it's likely going to be an eco, this allows him to get some potential farming, and also the P90, depending on where he wants to run with this, is a pretty good weapon, even in rifle rounds. So he's going to be going up long A with it, so yeah, you get into a good angle, you can spray down multiple players, there's 50 bullets of doom and misery, but he's not going to see any action here because Conquest, for the time being, are stacking 4 players towards drop zone.
I mean, it makes sense. You got these pistols. You want to try to work in against maybe some of the... Oh, but look at that. It's the M4 that has the extra bullets. Steel playing in there towards drop. Bolt now helping out. Will go down. It's actually being very, very costly here for the CTs. The fact that they've lost 3 players and, you know, it's going to be nice for the terrorists able to get the bomb down here. And I mean, Daps picks up the ops. So maybe they've even got a chance. And this time on the retake with these long ranges, it's actually just going to be Fur with the... I think as the fans of Luminosity will often refer to as the Fur 90. You will get the kill on the Daps. That was maybe too close for cover for Luminosity, but they will get out with the round victory.
Yeah, retain both the AWPs as well, so another victory for Luminosity here at 7 already. Very similar scorelines to what we saw on Train, although obviously completely different map in how it works. Cobblestone. I feel like Cobblestone is the map that even, well, actually we saw this on Train. We saw a lot of eco wins, but especially on Cobblestone, if you can exploit the likes of drop zone, if you can exploit long and try and push through and pick up the one defender, because typically you're going to have one player up long, things can get pretty interesting from a T's perspective. The issue for me is that just Conquest have been shut down, and they seem a bit indecisive as well on their plays. Like, they're often pushing up one at a time, getting picked off, and then suddenly, like, Luminosity have a huge advantage. But look at this all-out aggression as I'm speaking about indecision. That's why it's like, no, bro, I'm just going to rush out and pick myself up 2, 3 frags, looking for a 4th, but Fallen shuts him down. Damage has been done. Conquest, you have to win this round. If they let this slip, things are going to go from bad to a lot worse.
Yeah, they would like to be able to retake onto the site, but once again, the bomb gets planted in the B site. The Brazilian squad was probably pretty happy to be actually leading 7-1, but that might start to collapse here, or will it? Fallen getting hit that op shot. Now it is all going to fall to Fallen, who will hit another. Now Fallen versus Rix here, but I think realizing his beat, the time has run out. Fallen with a 3K will take it and retreat to the hills. Conquest with the second round.
Great entry work from that flight. Is going to secure Conquest their second round, albeit very close. Rix gets the AWP away from Fallen as well. That's such a cheeky shot. And that's got to be depressing. Do they go for the buy AWP anyway? Did someone have a load of funds? I didn't quite catch that. I'm going to watch this back on the stream. Yeah, Fallen had 7.6k, so he just buys himself an AWP to equalize the economy somewhat.
He did this once on Train, too. Or he was super rich. They actually won that round on Train. Let's see if the success won't find it. He won't find the success over here on Cobble as well. Now by pushing around the right side of that rectangle, will be able to get one and a second into drop. So, I mean, while the op can be powerful in and of itself, you do still kind of want some commotion to be caused by those pistols that allows you to get the op frags, you know, kind of from the shadows. But instead, it will be Conquest, 4 people alive, planting the bomb again, and both of these guys with Kevlar and of course the op to save are retreating.
Yep, and you can see that 3 players from Conquest are so low. So if he positions himself right and he does get Conquest to line up for him, he could take down a few players and convert that across to an AK-47. I'm going to be very interested to see what Conquest do. Because they're low, they have to push pretty far away from the site. In doing so, Fur can hear noise. He's got a beautiful angle here, and players are going to run into his crosshair. He's going to peek. There's the first one, and a second as well. Looking for a third. Runs out of bullets, but does at least take 2 weapons down with him. and Fallen keeps the AWP in his hands as well. Conquest with their 3rd round.
Yeah, and some of these players left with only about 4K, having to rebuy, so that was even still somewhat costly to Conquest. Although I mean, two Daps and Nap both with $0 because some of those kills come out. Shazam only with 1,300. Losing around here could put Conquest actually onto a save or kind of a weird, some with Tech 9 armor, some without, just to even up the money a little bit between the 5 players. But 7-3, Conquest slowly starting to work their way back into this. I mean, you want it no more than a 2 to 3 round spread, I think, on a half at Cobble. So Conquest does definitely have some catching up to do, and, are doing it quite well. About to find another round here, more than likely. Dilla broken up Luminosity Gaming. Conquest storming up. They've only lost 1 player. That's Rix, who will fall. It's a 4-on-2 right now. And Bolts is, yeah, I'm going to say, no, he's got no chance of escaping with the op, so. He goes down. It is now just Colts trying to cause some more damage. And
he could get it.
To a nice spot. We'll go for the shot. And will the native Daps actually double back that nade might have even killed him. But luckily that wall is separating him. He doesn't take any damage from it.
He had enough time to line up and take a picture of him there. Just aiming at him forever, right on his head. But Conquest, fair play to them. They were looking dead and buried again, and they've got 4 rounds. That may not be enough, and I don't want to get too carried away. Maybe this is Train speaking, from previous performances, but Conquest are at least on the right track. That's 3 rounds in a row. And the 2 rounds before that they lost, they at least got the bomb planted. So there are good signs here for the Canadians. Player just dropped for Luminosity, which is the reason for the pause, of course.
Yeah, a screen bug, they said. I don't know what that means. Maybe not being able to click on the buy menu is the most likely one, because that seems to be an epidemic these days.
Kind of annoying. I think it was Fur as well. So he's back now. We should have this unpaused coming in. There we go. And another P90 for Fur. Last time he used this, it was on long. And I'd expect to see him go back there again. I mean, it's a viable choice, I'd say, the P90 to go long, drop, maybe even B long as well, if you're feeling like it. But, of course, Fur is the long player on A, and he will be going back there once more to his home.
Alright, so let's see Rix going very, very fast out towards the deep site. Bolt is close, an extremely blind rush, though, maybe not realizing that, or just kind of trusting Rix to get the kill, but Rix maybe letting them down, not finding it. Bolt is now coming away on this round with 2, now 3 kills, so it's only Shazam, and I mean, just as quickly as the terrorist running to B, the round falls apart. It will be Luminosity. It took a while for them to find it. It's been 3 rounds since they've got one, but there it is, 8-4 now. And the double ops come right back out.
I've got to say, how in the actual hell did Bolt survive that round?
He's had a couple where he's lived on less than 5 HP.
Yeah, and he was the guy that saw the first couple of moments of action as well. He was in the little drop-off point off plateau as they run in on him, and somehow he gets a couple kills and survives. Look at this from Fur. He's pushing up aggressive. Now, in an eco round, this would be completely fine. I'm not sure if this is a miscall from him, but being in a position like that against AK-47s, that could cost you your life. The problem is, though, for the T's, there is smoke screening him, and he is maybe going to get the drop on Shazam. The smoke clears, and Shazam with the headshot. And that's the issue with playing aggressive, and now that puts LG really on the back foot. You can see this 2-pronged attack coming in onto A, and the only player that can fend this off is Fallen. He's got an AWP, which is not a fantastic weapon to do so. Rix again, very aggressive through, and there is Fallen with the aforementioned AWP. Can't do anything. And that's a round all off the back of Fur just pushing in through mid, because if he doesn't die and the Conquest get round the back and come onto A, Fur can still hold an off angle with the P90 and spray down a couple players. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Conquest will have their 5th round anyway.
Also, I mean, you're running a double up setup too, so when you make the site so much harder to defend, I mean, maybe that's why he does it. I can push out with the P90 even if I go down, there will be the ops. But even that being said, Fallen was pretty pushed up too. He was in danger, I think, or even the mid room along with them. And then players had already gone all the way around into the A site. Fallen, I guess, is the A player, but was hardly even playing A in that case. He goes down, everything falls apart. And look at this, man. I guess Luminosity with the 8 rounds feel comfortable enough. I mean, we saw yesterday that the T side on Cobble was much better for Luminosity. So having 8 rounds, having officially won the half, not too worried about making smart economic decisions. That being said, the CZs and the Mag 7s on Cobble can actually be pretty scary. But, I mean, just looking at the weaponry from the start of this round, you'd think Conquest would be finding themselves another round. And then another because the CTs will be broken completely going into the last round.
Yeah, things are starting to look a bit more promising for Conquest now. 2 Mag 7s though, I mean, this again, it's one of those maps where you can definitely get away with this. Drop zone is an absolute must. In fact, you see JW from time to time running with that kind of weapon around here. So, clearly, it's a weapon that's good in the right hands. Fallen, I think, just traded out with Colds there. I'm pretty sure they switched across weapons to relocate. You can see a very aggressive push from Bolts. Now, this makes a lot more sense when you've got a pistol as opposed to like a P90 or an AWP. When you're holding these very aggressive angles and hoping for the best that the T's don't check a spot, you can get yourself a couple of taps across with a 5-7. For up on the tree, one of the first times we've seen this spot used on the boost, and he's spotted himself daps, and you can see that CQ completely caught unawares. Probably should have had that second frag, in all honesty. It doesn't matter though, because Fallen comes in with that Mag 7.
From a mile out, too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that Mag 7 shot onto Rix was beautiful from Steel. Just peeks around the corner, claims himself the frag. 3-on-2, 20 seconds to play with. Conquest have to go in right now for this bomb plant. Fallen's been spotted. Shazam lands a shot onto Steel and still alive. From the back here with a second kill as well. 10 seconds, bomb will be planted, and now Coles can't afford to push this because he's up against the AWP. Shazam should have this. He misses 2 in a row. Coles is somehow still alive. He refuses to go down without a fight. And Shazam, after picking up 2 sensational frags, unable to hit Coles, who in fairness has just taken down Rush. If Coles somehow wins this round, this is going to be Shazam with Egg well and truly speared on his face. Mag 7's picked up. Close angle now from Coles. He seems to think he's up on the plateau. It's not the case. And the Tech 9 point blank range finishes off Coles. But Shazam, I mean, I think his butt's going to be a bit clenched after that round.
Probably. And I gotta say, you mentioned it, Fur up on top behind the tree, a position we haven't really seen before in this game. And, I mean, he goes up there with the rifle, letting the, Mag 7s and the CZs cause some confusion. He finds the opening kill, and with the silenced gun, and they didn't even realize it. He's got another clean shot on that player that he assists on, but he goes down and was actually falling with the Mag 7 to get the kill. If Fur just kills them both, stays alive, I think there's no way that Luminosity would lose the round from that point. And then even then, it was still very close, right? Like, that could have been coin flip of ring around the kind of rectangle. If that CT player was looking the right way, it could have went to Luminosity. But as I say that, are you serious here with the Mag 7? And that's where you want to see that gun being played in drop. He got 1 frag with it last time. This time he brings home 3 in the round that you would really expect Luminosity to not win. Could be the one where they find it. Fur with the AK will bring down Shazam, and now it is only Daps. Over looking at the art on the wall, the big dragon. He's got to go for the bomb. The bomb is right here. They will smoke and then boost up. He's going to Molotov down, only to be... Oh, okay. Well, pushed into, but Cole looking the wrong way. Daps trying to get it done, but way too tall of an order for just one man. It's 9-6. Luminosity winning the CT half.
I was just sat here laughing my ass off watching that Mag 7 wreckage unfold, and I'm glad that Twitch chat felt the same way. Just spamming of laughing and ha-has and Steel God. Like, pretty ridiculous.
Yes, he still got a lot.
Mag 7. Yeah, 14 for 9 he currently is on. And those 3 Mag 7 kills were huge. And 6 rounds... I mean... Overall, I think Conquest will be a bit disappointed with having only 6 from their T half here on Cobblestone. But when you take into consideration, at one point they were trailing 7-1, I think it doesn't look too bad overall. If they win the pistol, of course, they're right back in this. So, game's still on here. This has the makings of potentially going the distance once more. Now I've said that, I'll jinx it. It'll be like a 16-6 blowout.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, at this point, I think I've learned not to doubt Conquest because I didn't see them doing much on Train. And then especially after, the Terrorist Luminosity took 10 rounds in the first half on Train, I was like, nope, it's over. And then Conquest nearly wins it. It goes to the full 30 rounds. And they were even leading, and it looked like they were just going to run away with the game for a little while there, up until I think they had about 13 rounds, and things got a bit shaky. They only got 1 more, of course. But here we go, into another pistol round. Fur very quickly into the drop room. You know that a player's going to be close in here. That's Rush. He will be taken out. Now over towards the rock. We saw Bolt on his pistol round on the CC side do very, very dirty things, and now Nafly repeating those. He'll find 2 kills. And now it is a 3-on-2, but the bomb is going down here. So win or lose at this point, the pistol round for the T side has been somewhat effective. Of course, they want to win. Fallen still fighting from the back of the site here. And it's going to be Bolt from Platform, who now has to do everything himself up to kill, I guess, all three of these people at this point. Actually, he'll be on for the fourth day. He's trying to spam. He does have the Glock. He's got those bullets, but he can't get through the smoke. He can't stop Shazam, and the bomb will be defused.
I love that from Daps as well. He's actually jumping up, trying to fend off the angle that the Glock's tapping through, so he just soaked up all those bullets, like the quintessential good guy Daps. But I was watching from Nafly's perspective there. That double 5-7 frag was huge, and he just snapped across, like a perfect flick shot across, one tapping that second player with a 5-7. That was beautiful to watch. But Conquest, we said they need a pistol, they picked it up, picked it up with style, and now we have 3 FAMASs, a P90 and a Scout in play. Whereas Luminosity, after that bomb plant, are going to be saving their money by and large, just going for pistol upgrades. They will have AK-47s through into round number 18.
Conquest pulling out the boost under the tree very, very early on. You'll see some teams kind of just throw this boost up when they feel like they desperately need a round, and they'll kind of use it. And then other teams will just actually play a person here every single round. So maybe Conquest is one of those squads. Because they're pulling it out pretty early against the pistols, and it's actually not going to fall because they get hit from behind first, from the drop room, and now Fallen and bo3 were pushed out onto the site. Unfortunately, the bomb was traveling through drop, so even though they've got control of the, I guess, the site, the fountain there, or statue rather, they can't plant.
So here come the AKs for Luminosity. Conquest. Oh, are they going to fall into the trap of going for another SMG here? I'd like to see if FAMAS picked up from Nafly or something similar to that, and that's what he's going to go for. Okay, good stuff. So only the one P90 and the Scout. This is still good enough to play with. Let's see where Daps runs with the P90. Now, we saw Fur going long, and that's exactly where Daps is going as well. So, it makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, it's Shazam with the Scout who goes through mid on A, looking for the opening picks. Nothing being seen just yet. Boost up as well from Conquest onto the tree. A good setup so far from them, but here comes the flash, then what you'll see is the push afterwards. So here we go. Flash is going to come in, it's very likely going to hit Rush in the face. It does indeed do that. Fantastic set play,
So
and I've seen LG do this so many times. It's so solid with that strap. Yeah, Rush was completely blind. There's nothing he can do. You'll see a lot of players will hide behind a little wooden pillar to try and fend off some of that flashbang effect, but regardless, they're through onto the A.
Drop is such a hard position. It's really frustrating to play as a CT.
It is. It's really rough. And this is one of the reasons why I think Cobblestone slightly favours the Ts, because areas like that are so difficult to successfully hold off. In fact, you do see a lot of the top teams will often just give up drop and hold the angles outside instead. They'll be like, okay, we'll give up drop, but we'll hide outside the window, we'll hide outside along, we'll just do our best to fend it off as soon as they push through. As I'm speaking though, this retake has been sensational so far. Conquest have got themselves all 3 frags in that 3-on-3. Rix picks himself up too. And the defuse will...
Rix?
Oh,
Rix?
There we go. This is going to be really close, actually. Surely not. Oh my gosh. 0.2 seconds. And that's because they were like, oh god, Rix, get here, and he so nearly derped it. Imagine if he fails that first jump, and he gets there a second too late. The most awkward loss of round you'll probably see live on stream.
Yes, it would have been. And I mean, it almost was. At first, you're like, oh, the retake was beautiful. I'm sitting here like, I think they lost. I don't think they're going to defuse this bomb, but Rix is able to get there in just the nick of time. Here come the flashes and the Tech 9s. See what they can do. Not so much. Not so many flashes actually really coming out here. I guess they'd already thrown over. It didn't seem very effective. None of the CT players all that blind. And I don't even think one of them is going to go down. Rix will find a triple kill, and Nafly to close it out with his P2K. So Conquest now, again, you know, you're coming into the second half, Conquest losing the first one, but now they find themselves leading. Can they keep pushing this lead? Or will they once again get very, very close, slip up, and allow Luminosity to take a map? Having that happen twice in a row would be heartbreaking, I would think, for this Conquest lineup.
Oh yeah, absolutely would be. But they just got to put that previous map in the back of their mind now. You know, take one round at a time. They realise, you know, they've drew blood from Luminosity. They know they're mere mortals after all. They can be beaten. They can be dethroned. This is Conquest's choice of map as well. They're solid on this map. They can do this, and they know it too. So let's see if they can execute. If they can start to play to the high standard we know. Again, it's Nafly who is top fragging for his team and really just charging in a lot of the times. Even on CT side, he's a very aggressive player. I would love to watch players like that. But regardless, Luminosity playing this very slow, very steady, just waiting for the potential picks. You can see again, aggressive push-up from Daps holding the angle with the Galil. And then on the site is Shazam with the AWP. Eyes trained onto long. He's going to flash in there. Maybe Daps is going to have a quick peek after this one. No, he's actually just going to wait. That was a deterrent flash, stopping LG from going in. They're going to go for their counter flash, though. Doesn't really hit Daps. Doing so, that's going to cost for his life. Yeah, that one misplay is potentially going to cost them 2 more lives as well. Shazam's connected. There's Daps in mid. This was an AK round from Luminosity, and it is being shut down with authority from the Canadians. It's all on Steel. He's landed himself a headshot. Maybe he can sneak away a bomb plant. That's not going to happen. Rick's too fast on the trigger. And that one flash, Joey, that cost so much for Luminosity.
Yep, I mean, you put a set play on the back of a pop flash, and it turns out that pop flash doesn't actually work. I think it would have been far enough for a player on the other side of that mid door, but the fact that there's a little bit of an extra ledge there on the right side, able to hide behind it. So Luminosity, I mean, maybe thinking that where I think that player just turned back, or why wasn't he blind? Why can this guy see through flashes? Might want to rewatch that and realize that needs to be thrown a little bit further. So here we go. Yeah. I mean, they're terrorists. They're losing. They got money. Planted the bomb a couple times. Here they go onto another round, this time though with 4 Galils and an AK. And a big set play. It looks like missile defense over there with all those nade trajectories going out. And here comes the smoke wall into the B site, but Nap and Rush. I mean, what good's the wall if everyone's already on the other side?
Man, if you're going to go for that set play, you need somebody to either Molotov out the box, and this is something we saw Conquest doing. It was bolts that was hiding there. You either need to Molotov it and force out that player, or you need to push one player through and just make sure someone's not on plateau. Because you saw them jump down, the flashes came in, there was fantastic grenade placement as well from Conquest, did a lot of chunk damage, but then it was just a player up on plateau. It was like, cool, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, right? I can just hide up here, I've got all the advantages, I've got an M4, ripping pepperonis. He gets himself 2 or 3 kills. You've got to check that spot if you're going to go for that set play.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like they might want to go for it again. This time the Molotov, looks like they hear you, Meta. The Molotov is there. Nafly, you know, that smoke goes down. You always expect terrorists trying to work their way through those wooden boxes. And Nafly will land a lot of early damage on default. And actually the Molotov was for KFC, the back of the B bomb site here. Frying up some chicken with that Molotov. And now a 4-on-4, the retake situation. The bomb going down here for Luminosity. But they'll have more money coming into the next round. I mean, with the max bonus lost, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to come out on top. Unless Fur hits some really nice one-taps, but actually comes out with no kills and bullets. I mean, he's been a survivor on low HP round after round, but a 1v4 with 11 HP? A little too much to ask.
I don't know why, but when you said that, it reminded me of the Destiny's Child song, you know, Survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna burst out and sing it, but I'll spare all of you that horrific.
We'll save karaoke for the drunk stream after this. Yeah. The after party stream.
I don't want to blow anyone's ears out, which will definitely happen. But Luminosity have yet to pick up a single round on their T side, and again I'm getting deja vu from Train. Now what ended up happening around this point is when Luminosity started to bring it back and ended up winning 16-14. So again, is history going to repeat itself? They've got the AKs, they've got a lot more grenades in their back pocket this time around. A bit of a derpy potential boost there, but they finally get it from Conquest. Better late than never. And Luminosity, again, setting up for a potential B plateau push. Grenades, that's 2 HEs, and that Molotov thrown down onto the box.
Box is
absolutely nothing.
Clear.
The hatred on that box is real.
Well, I mean, this is what you wanted to see, right? You wanted to see them clear that out with the Molotovs. It looks like they want to... Oh, I guess they've run out of smoke. So if anything, they're just going through with some pop flashes.
Yeah.
But Rix is going to beat him to it. I mean, a couple players drop down. Rix playing outside of it will bring down Fur. So Steel is there. He'll bounce a Molotov off over towards the rock. Nap is going to be back there. And find 2 here from KFC. I'm really trying to push KFC. I'm just saying it. And hoping, I mean, it makes sense, right? Everyone calls it the chicken coop. I call it KFC. People should be able to figure it out. I don't want people to be too upset, but I'm calling it KFC, so deal with it. 14-9. It might not be for too much longer if Conquest are able to push out here and get us onto map number 3. That will be Inferno, a map that just wasn't banned and came up to be the random 3rd map.
I talk about this premise quite a bit, and it's throwing grenades with a purpose. If you're going to throw HEs, you're going to throw Molotovs, there has to be an idea behind it. And you even said this, Joey, and you hit the nail on the head as well, as Fur completely rips that smoke. That's pretty significant as well. But they used a lot of HEs, they used Molotovs, they used smokes, and at one point, with like 30-40 seconds to go, no smokes left to push onto B site. So if you're going to throw those mollies and those HEs, you need someone to back that up. You need someone to do something off the back of it. And again, we're seeing these Molotovs come down. Nafly in Taz's spot. I'm going to keep pushing that as well. Completely undeterred. Nothing hits him. Like, he's still there. And this could bait LG into such a bad position as well. Because they're like, cool, the angle's covered, right? We threw 2 Molotovs down. There's no way someone can be there. And then Nafly peeks and gets the frag on Fallen. They have to draw their attention towards that spot. So then Rix gets 2. This is a comedy of errors from Luminosity Gaming. They're shooting themselves in the foot here.
Oh, if it's such a comedy, why ain't I laughing, metas?
Good point.
I think I've never really understood that phrase. Oh, another nice little Molotov. Shooting Molotov. It's like a spy car that just put like oil slick on the road as he was rolling out of there. And they will find another round here, Luminosity, despite, I mean, a nice spray down for Rix. The fact that Nafly went unchecked, was able to get 1 kill. They're still able to come out on top there. 10-14, and I mean, they're going to have to keep coming out on top, or they're going to be faced with, you know, a match point for Conquest. That would mean no more mistakes. Only room for 1 right now, but it's a mistake. It's that one mistake that you don't want to make.
Again, all the pressure on their shoulders. But to be fair, they did a pretty remarkable job on Train of just shaking their shoulders and being like, nope, not going to fall into this. Again, it's taking each round at a time. If you look at the overall score, things can definitely start playing against you. Like, psychologically speaking, you can start talking yourself out of certain peaks, like pushing aggressively, and that's what Luminosity for me did fantastically on their Train comeback. Very aggressive on their CT side. Now obviously on T side, there's much more call to be aggressive. You kind of have to get onto the sites, of course. You have to go for that bomb plan. And they have been, time and time again, going for these B plays. I wonder if it's getting predictable.
Wow.
The thing is, their execution this time around is too good. Fur comes in, he's finally found his form. There's 2 frags, and a 3rd as well. Huge from Fur, stepping up and delivering fatal blows across the board. Daps, though, is going to get the better of Fallen. Now he's in a pretty good position to maybe fend this off with his teammate, who is Nafly, who's about to get pushed from behind.
Gets it.
And Fur gets the ace. What a beast.
Yo, what a round. He sees that Molotov go down and drop. It might have even been theirs. I thought it was a CT one to say, don't drop, you're going to be landing in fire. And immediately Fur just, you know, jumps on through, lands, takes out the player in window, moves up through the AB connector, gets another couple. That found 3 frags at that point, gets into the A site and kills the 2 players, you know, making that initial kind of retake decision from Conquest. And Fur just comes through with the ace. And that's something that you expect from Fur, I guess, to maybe happen every once in a while. But we saw none of it yesterday. Fur was like the most lackluster player yesterday for Luminosity, despite, I mean, still winning 2-1 versus Mythic. But now when they really, really need him, he steps up. That gets the 11-14 scoreline, and, you know, hope still here for Luminosity to, for them to close it out in 2-0. But of course, Conquest still on the quest for a map win.
They are. Again, these Molotovs gonna push back the CTs. We can see Rush on the little ledge is gonna get himself the cheekiest frag on Fallen, who will be kicking himself. He'll be so mad about that. Colts, however, spotting himself Rix. He goes behind the boxes. The issue is they've got a little more Molotov to play with, and the trades come back in the CT's favor. Now the bomb has been dropped. That's gonna be called for Rix. He's gonna throw down that flashbang and have a quick peek. Fur from the side, however, needs to land this frag, and he's missed his spray. He missed his opportunity. No, he just turns around and one-taps. Get Rex on 13-14.
Wow, he was so low already.
12-14. I can't count. Rip.
Yeah, whatever. Is it counting or reading at this point? I don't know. Either way, we're not very good at either of them here.
I failed maths and English. I actually didn't, but
I was going to say, did you actually?
No. A's, mate. Mad?
No, I'm not, actually. I also did well in school.
Wait, now we have a pause. You know, we can kind of go off topic a tiny bit. Don't they have SATs? Or is that completely different, like, to grades? I don't even know.
Oh, SATs are like, you take them... I mean, it's I guess kind of like an exit exam, but it's not really run by your school. It's kind of just like a federal. I guess it's a federal thing, nationwide thing. You take the SATs, but you can take them before your final year, which we call the senior year, and it's kind of just like it's a test. So when you apply to colleges, they've got a standardized test that they can look at and gauge your performance.
All right, go yeah.
I don't know. It's dumb. It's like, oh my god, I did so good on my SATs, I got this score, and then as soon as you get accepted to college, that number will never affect your life again.
Well, speaking of numbers,
Do well in school, kids. It's important.
do it.
If you want to be a CS pro, you got to get the good grades as well.
You've got to learn to count, basically, to know when you won the game. Because
Yeah, you got to have a good
I'm
understanding
struggling.
of economy if you want to play Counter-Strike, so...
Yeah. Well, you actually do, in fairness. Although you can have a smart guy on your team call that for you. Now, we are into the 27th round. The unpauses came in. Luminosity paused a couple times yesterday as well. There were tactical pauses in situations like this against Mythic. And to be fair, once they called the pause, they won. So they're kind of the king of pauses, I would say, so far in this tournament. Conquest, though, in decent positions, have no open play, but do have M4s and defuse kits. Only one smoke, however, and flashbangs. And now Dap's position could be absolutely crucial to how this entire map goes. The first player down after facing the ball says the security and Daps can't do anything. Both the players on long have been neutralized. There's still a player on the site though. That's going to be rushed. Are they going to expect a triple stack on the A side? The way they're pushing in, I don't think they are. Rush now peeks out, maybe a bit too early. Gets the first frag, looking for the second. Connects it as well. It's a 2-on-1 with 20 seconds to play with.
Yeah, the fact that they... Was he there from the start of the round, or did he start making that rotation very early on after Dap started hearing those flashes? I'm not sure of which, but, I mean, the fact that you don't check that spot in the site, I mean, you plant the bomb, you go down afterward, that's got to be, you know, a heart-sinking, like, kind of feeling that you didn't check it, and that cost you the round. I mean, how often do we see that? It's so awkward to clear that back spot out, too, because when you go to check the back spot, you show yourself, you then show your backside to the balcony and vice versa. It can be very, very awkward.
I watched the stream back and I still don't understand how Conquest win that round. Like, after the first two lone players die and Rush peeks out a bit too early for me, he did get a 6-second frag, though. I think that was on Fallen, who was at the back. But still, I'm thinking, okay, Luminosity have got this round. Like, there's no way they can lose. And then suddenly Conquest just land shots. Left, right, and centre. It's just unbelievable play. And now Luminosity, they've got enough to buy up at least with decent weapons, decent amount of sort of grenades. But they lose this round, and we are going to Inferno in the third map. It is that simple.
Let's see, LG once again going to go for the flash over, working their way out. This time Daps is not sitting on the little mini castle. Also want to call that position the Rook. That's a good name for it. Shazam playing at the van here. It does have his op trained onto long A, and there is actually a man, Daps, this time. I mean, in another kind of easy position over here. Will have to be cleared out. Will that pop flash be better? Actually, might not be required. Everyone is coming up. Nice wall of smokes here. Set execute. But Shazam jumping up and looking over. Will be able to bring down one. Almost finding a second. Will he give that another repeat? I think he's wise not to. And he will back off. That's a 5-on-3 for Conquest. Man advantage as they look to close out this map. But Cold is going to open up with a frag onto Shazam. So he gets the first blood drawn for the side of Luminosity, and just after that, so many frags. He opens up the floodgates for the frags. He gets one, and then everybody else chiming in. Almost everybody else. Holds with 2. Only Fur going fragless on that round, and that gets it within 2, and will also break up. I mean, it's round 30. It should go to round 30.
Oh, man. Again, 2 maps in a row have gone down to the wire. First map, if you just joined us, was Train. Luminosity just about holding on and winning it 16-14, and we could be looking at overtime here. As you say, Joey, on paper this should go the distance. Now, barring a miracle from Conquest, they have 3 P250s, which are obviously capable of getting those one-taps, but they're stacking on the A side, and very aggressively as well. I like these kind of plays. Yes, it's a bit gimmicky, but you have to throw out these strats when you've just got full pistols, especially on a map like Cobblestone. Now, unfortunately for them, it's going to be a B hit more than likely from Luminosity. But I can definitely respect the aggression here. Falls in at the frag. He's been tagged though. Will be finished off, so that's going to be an AWP at least. But retaking with an AWP and B250s, that's still not fantastic. In actual fact, how's the economy looking like for Conquest?
It's really bad.
They may just
the fact that they got that up.
Yeah, just save
really
the
big.
AWP. if they go in with this AWP and die, that is a huge misplay for me.
Nah, they're not. You can already see that. Actually, wait, that's
going
Rush
in,
that's
yeah.
backing
Yeah.
off. I don't know why Nafly is going for this.
Exactly. This just save the AWP, guys. You're not going to take this round back. You've got no defuse kits. You only got a HE. That's it.
Yeah, they want some
Please.
more. They're actually just setting up, it looks like, for a nice little crossfire to maybe
There we
find
go.
some more guns on the retreat.
He's
Because
backing
the
off now,
money is
solid.
pretty bad. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, a couple 1.5 on Rix, 1.8 on Rush. This op is possibly light for them, and actually a very good chance of going into. I mean, Shazam nice frags, but it won't really matter. Actually, that's terrorists aren't doing incredibly well either, but Bolt's living and has about 6k, 5k for steal, so they will be fine to have a full round with utility. And pretty underfunded CT side. I mean, they'll still have a decent shot. But it's a big round to be relying on 3 FAMAS.
It is, but at least they do have that AWP that was saved. Rix 30 for 18. Nafly 27 for 21. There's quite a big drop off after that. 9 frags and then Rush on 18. So just goes to show how these two players have been performing today. The Conquest, and to be fair, Nafly in particular was one of their talisman on train as well. Like, this guy's been having a solid best of 3 series. The Conquest that he's hold on to this to take us to the third map. Luminosity with their, I would say this is their standard setup. You know, one player watching mid, the rest of them trying to work on platform/plateau here on B.
They're trying to go for a fake, and they're all going to push drop. Like, I guess that's what they're going for. I think they're going to go towards A. They still have that man out there. They will run over the top of Rush, and now Rix from the backside as Fur has got his eyes focused on maybe a bit of tunnel vision there on the window where Rush again will strike, and it's going to come down to a 2-on-3. Conquest have got themselves in a pretty good position, but Coles is there, and Shazam will miss that shot.
That's huge.
That is massive. Shazam probably covering his face right now. Probably can't even watch this now that he's been taken out of the round. Into a 2-on-2 we go. The bomb, though, is down, and Coles, having to check everything, will be caught off guard by Naf. It's all going to go on to Fallen. He will be able to bring down Naf, and he's going to run over to the B site. It's going to come down to the 1-on-1. Fallen still has a bit to clear, but he will just drop the smoke and plant. Maybe they had the information that Daps was at A. Either way, the bomb has gone down at this point, and it's going to be into the 1v1. FAMAS versus AK. Fallen, though, is on 50 HP, and is going to go ahead and peek. But Daps, he can't get the frag! Only hits him once, brings him from 50 to 31, and here we go into overtime on map number 2, Cobble. Luminosity leading the series 1-0.
I hate pointing players out and like saying you're the reason, but if Shazam lands that shot from behind, it should have been a kill. If he lands that, Conquest have that round, no problems at all. The fact he misses that and then dies gives Luminosity the opportunity to pull back the last 3 rounds, take us into overtime. And I just hope that Conquest don't crumble. I hope they don't push that self-destruct button, because they should have had this map multiple times, and they will know that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Daps, happens to be that player there who isn't really been the top fragger so far in the series. He's 9-20. I mean, he does have a FAMAS, which is never great, but can't find that kill. That's a bit rough. Could have possibly won it there, but we're off into overtime, and things will change up a little bit now. Actually, we saw, as we still have the box score up, it was kind of interesting to note how the CT started off so well early on in both halves. So Luminosity doing all right, Conquest actually doing even better on the start of their CT side, but then it's the terrorists that I guess finally start to adapt and start winning terrorist rounds later on in the half. And of course, they both end up with 6 rounds on the T side, both teams getting 9 on the CT side, and now pushing it in to overtime. So I just kind of wonder if the T sides have kind of figured out the CT sides, if we won't see the overtime be a little bit more T sided, or will it still kind of go like 2-1 towards the CTs that you might expect in the MR3 10K overtime halves? We'll find out soon. Waiting on 2 more players to ready up here, I'm sure. I mean, it's actually both. It's Nafly and Shazam are waiting on, so maybe they're talking. It's Conquest, I think, that has to do a little bit more of the talking right now, to have been in the driver's seat near the end of the round and to have lost the first map and then have this one be pushed into overtime and still be up against the wall.
Yeah, I think for Conquest, it's probably a good idea to take a little bit of a breather here. You know, maybe just, I don't know, put your head under a tap of water or something and just try and cool off, because there's probably going to be quite high tensions on there. voice comms right now after that last round and after the last few rounds as well. It's important that you do get yourself back in the game, you know? And this is a huge part of CS gaming, I would say, at the top level. It's how do you react to defeats? How do you react to being ahead and letting it slip? Because they're still in this game, right? It's easy to look at this like, oh my god, we just lost our chance at winning. But it takes like a very positive person in this scenario to say, hold on, guys, but we can still win this game. It's overtime, right? Like, if we still wreck overtime, we still win this map. Whatever happened in round 30 is distant a memory. It's history. It doesn't matter anymore for us. So I think it's important they bounce back strong here. And if they need a little bit of time to do that, and, you know, to have Shazam and maybe Nafly just chill, go for a smoke, whatever it is that they do, then go for it.
I wouldn't recommend smoking, kids, for anyone watching.
Same. But, you know, I used to play with a lot of people that smoked, and after every game, they'd need like a 10-minute
That's super
break.
annoying.
Kind of, yeah.
I always tried to kick them off my team as fast as possible. Like, I don't care if you're the star player. I'm trying to play more games, and I gotta wait 10 minutes every time so that you can go smoke. It's ridiculous.
But if it, like, in this kind of case, if they do, I don't even know if they do, right? Maybe they don't. But if they do, if it calms them down, whatever. Like, Conquest need level heads right now. They need to come back into this game and just get back in the zone.
And the economy, I mean, having the 10K in the first round might change things a little bit. I mean, the CTs are going to be completely funded here. They've got a full-on round. We saw how Conquest, how well they were doing when they started out strong early on. They had a good economy going into some of those rounds. They were able to get, I think it was 8 in a row in regulation on their CT side. So maybe that'll change things up. I mean, faced with some awkward rounds there. Well, we're actually both teams, right? We had Luminosity on their CT side with Mag 7s, 5-7s, like 2-3 rounds in a row. Conquest with a couple FAMAS. And some lack of nades, but here we go. And I think that's also going to help out Luminosity. We've seen that they are capable of making these set plays, sometimes lacking the Molotovs to clear out the spots when they're throwing their smokes. But here they will have everything. I guess they've already used the smokes, just the Molotovs coming in now towards the A side. There the smokes go. They're going to land. They're going to set up that wall. Shazam has done this before. It's like deja vu for him, jumping up onto the A site, trying to find that first frag over the smoke. Doesn't quite cover it, and he will actually find the leg there of Steel, maybe just getting him through the boards. Molotov's going everywhere, but Shazam is still set up with a good angle. He needs to get a frag here, but he actually cannot. He's going to go down. He backs over into the fire, and he will burn from Fallen's Molotov. And wow, the man advantage is here, but this is the most winnable 2-on-3 I've ever seen.
Yes.
Look how low these players are for Luminosity.
And how low the time is as well. Like, they have to push in, and in doing so, they're walking into the rush, and that fly as well. A huge round for Conquest, not just because it starts them off in the overtime, but it's going to settle their nerves a tiny bit as well. It's going to settle any tensions that are in. They've started well, but they have to carry this on. And you saw 2 Molotovs land there and do so much damage at the start of that round. Luminosity lost 2 players, pretty much down to about 30 HP, just off Molotov placement for Conquest. So here we go, into the second round. Conquest, can you pull this off?
They're going out 3 towards B. The man in the connector will be Shazam. He's opting over towards the middle room. Daps to play in the site. And it looks like Naf and actually everybody. Are they going to boost 2 up there? They are. Putting 2 people onto the back platform. That will be both Rush and Rix. Let's see where Nafly wants to go. They're all trained on the platform. No one's even playing drop. That has got to be scary.
That's a very good point that you raise.
I mean, it's scarier for the A guys, right? It's just that no one's watching it. I guess Daps kind of is, but he's obviously going to be more concerned about the mid room and the stables too as well.
Man. But they're getting so much information here, Joey. They know this isn't a hit, and they could potentially, if Shazam and these Molotovs keep the T's at bay for long enough, they'll get round the back of the terrorist, and it will be an absolute slaughter. Rix is coming in, there's flashbangs landing in mid, and they're lining up the Brazilians, and they are absolutely pummeling them. Bolts gets taken down. What a call that is from Conquest. It's so risky, but it pays off. Unless Steel can go crazy with a 1v4 clutch with 30 seconds, with the bomb down in mid, coming through the smoke. Pretty much, this is, I would say this is almost an impossible situation for Steel to clutch. But if he does, oh my goodness, what a call from Conquest.
Get ready for the spam.
Do it. That was just, whoever called that, whoever called to rotate through is an absolute god on the side of Conquest. That was fantastic. And the balls to have that in the back of, you know, your mind to pull that out in an overtime, unbelievable.
I mean, I think it's even more ballsy to just not play anybody at drop. The A guys were completely, you know, undefended, right? And, like, had they went drop, Conquest would have come into that round looking, you know, looking like dum-dums. But the fact that no one goes drop, they go up on the B platform, they make that push to go aggressive, they read the information, they come out looking like geniuses, and that sometimes just is the nature of those risky plays in Counter-Strike, and here it works out very nicely for Conquest and Luminosity going on. Even with 10K, it's almost too much for the Terrorists to sustain 2 round losses in a row, and Shazam with another great opening pick on this round. That's, I think, 2 in a row now for him.
Yeah, I thought Shazam may crumble, you know, after that missed shot that cost him so big, but all the kudos to him in the world, all the props. He has been landing. I say that, and he actually doesn't even pull the trigger there. He switched his weapon too quickly. Cost him his life. Here come the Molotovs. Very passive defense on the A side once again, and it is paying out for Conquest. Rix turns his back, no one's there to help him out. They seem to have sniffed out that to the back of the site. He lands a grenade right by his feet. Bolts comes in as well. It's going to come down to that. Can he land a shot? The answer is a resounding no. Rush now pushing up with 25 XP gets picked off, and Conquest don't quite get the perfect first half, but a solid one nonetheless, and are moving across to their T side.
I mean, a 2-1 is about what you expect, I guess, for the CT side, based on kind of what we saw in regulation. At least having that money makes it quite a bit easier to defend, although that first round was pretty shaky. I thought after Shazam went down to that Molotov that it might unravel, but of course, you know, able to hold on to the site was Luminosity, and even to retake it there. And then the second round, they looked like geniuses, Conquest, and then Luminosity finally able to get 1 on the board, and now they get to flip over to the CT side. It is overtime. You are looking for 19 up on the top bar there to have that victory here in the overtime system that we use.
Yeah, again, though, a couple small mistakes that cost Conquest big in that last round. I think Shazam flicked too quick. I didn't quite catch it because I was switching over to a different player. I think he switched too fast when he saw a player coming through long, and that's something a lot of AWPers will do. It gives you the extra movement. But, you know, you still need to pull that trigger. It's like a timing thing. Unfortunate it happened there, but nonetheless, good half for Conquest here now on the T side. Both teams opting for an AWP. Very different style and play, I would say, as well. Like, Luminosity can... I want to say, like, 80% of the time, I'm pulling that stat out my backside, but still, most of the time they're going B. Whereas Conquest, for me, most of the time we're kind of having split approaches, or maybe even pushing through mid on A. So I'm quite curious to see if Conquest switch anything up this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they look very focused towards B right now. Molotov's going down to clear out that box. It's not quite spreading yet. There it goes now. Bolts is, you know, realizing it takes a few seconds to start spreading, then just moves back. And now that the smoke's going to go down from his teammate, he moves back right up into the wooden box, something that Conquest are going to want to think that is clear. I'm getting worried that Bolts has shot a lot of ammo out of his gun, but still, with just 9 bullets, he's able to line up a double, does even find a third there onto Daps. Now Steal from KFC, and Cole's playing real close. Steel's able to grab 1 more, and it'll be Rick's 30 HP, and a 1 versus 3 bomb is down. He'll Molotov up. That's going to land on the tree, just to make sure no one's on the booth, trying to make his job a little bit easier, as he will find Colds. I'll go for the op. Low HP, going for the op. Can't really criticize that decision, but even still, it's going to be so hard, and Fallen will shoot him down.
That kind of highlights the importance of having a 2-pronged attack here on Cobblestone. You force out of long, and it's just Bolts holding down the trigger. Take nothing away from Bolts. That was fantastic play from him, but if Conquest have like a player or 2 coming through drop zone as well, it's a lot easier to get around the back of the CTs and cause more havoc and devastation. But that being said, good hold from Luminosity, taking us to all even once more. AK-47s across the board for Conquest. Not going to be running with another AWP, I should say. Didn't really pay out too well for the last round in fairness. Shazam didn't have a chance to fire anything across, just constant smokes down in long. They're going for it again, it would appear.
And they're going to want to work Daps out. It looks like they are much more focused on drop, though. They got 4 people over that way. They're all going down now, and they've actually got through without much confrontation. Still holding on to the back of the B side, though. Steal will kill his teammate. Then quickly flick over and find Daps. And trying to spray here in control to get another, but he cannot. And it will come down to Fallen. Going to have to retake here onto the site. Throws an incendiary in. Will it? No, it's going to go right into that smoke. Will find the first shot, only taking a little bit of damage there. Now it's going to come down to the 1 versus 1. And it's going to be ring around the tree here in the B site, perhaps. Fallen going to go for the quick peek, but he will miss. And Rush is there, able to spray down a very, very close round.
I was about to say, Rush, please use your Molly or HE. He had a Molly and a HE right until the end of that. I was a bit worried that he was going to die and not throw either of them, because it could have fallen into a position that makes it much easier for Rush to then fend off. But I guess maybe he's worried that he switches to a Molotov or a HE as he gets pushed. It's always a timing thing. But great round for Conquest. That team kill definitely didn't help from Steel's perspective, but he did get a frag afterwards. You can kind of let him off for that one. It was just a case of great entry frags. Again, look at Rick's, man. 35 frags. Absolute monster. And we did see before coming into this, stats-wise, he was the player to watch out for in this best of 3. 16 efficacy so far, which is pretty ridiculous. What was it, averaging 100 damage a round as well, I think you said?
For Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the previous series versus Orgulus.
Crazy.
He had 111 in one game and like 102 in the game that was 42 rounds long, which is pretty crazy to have ADR over 142 rounds.
Absolutely crazy. Now, the buy-up here from Luminosity in this final round of overtime, potentially, unless they win this and we'll be into second overtime, is not great. They do have an open play, but they got a mag 7. We saw what Steel was capable of doing that on the role reversal, though. Bolts could be key here. And it's going to be Steel again, a carbon copy with 2 frags in the same position. Bolts is holding it down on plateau, and it looks like we will be going into second overtime. Strap yourselves in. Oh my goodness. What did I just witness?
The Swag 7. I feel like if they ever get to the point when there's CSGO Cologne, there should definitely be a scent called Swag 7. Throw that out there. Any marketing people watching in a position to make that
like,
product.
Though? Like, what? How would you make the skin look with swag?
What do you mean?
Are you saying there should be a skin that's called the swag 7?
No. A scent of cologne.
Oh, sorry.
And then the bottle would just be a shotgun, and you gotta, pump it, and then and that's how you'd spray it on. It'd be sick. That's $1 million idea. Someone can take it, run with it.
Saying pump it
Steel
and
could
spray
be
it.
the front man. He could be in the commercial.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the use of words there.
All right, well, whatever. Maybe it's an American thing. Do you not have ridiculous like perfume and cologne commercials?
No, it's the fact you said pump it and spray it. They just kind of caught me off guard.
It's a shotgun. What else are you gonna do? I don't know what imagery you're trying to pull out of your head there, your dirty mind. But here we go into the second overtime. It's 18-18. You're looking for 22 rounds to get the victory here. As Steel keeps him going with that Swag 7, and now Fur here. A bit of a cheeky spot. We'll find one, and we'll actually find 2. Also spotting the bombs, and the information comes in. The players can start to make the rotations over to this A site. Conquest, I guess, still kind of have an out here if they wanted to turn around, but 3 on 4. It looks like they're still just going to go ahead and go for it. Nice little pop flash through, but they cannot catch Fallen as he falls back.
Well, Conquest again, kind of on the back foot here. They have started, honestly, their previous overtime super well, but now that they find themselves on the T side rather than the CT side, I think not going quite as well. That's going to be Daps getting dropped, Bolts as well. It's all on Shazam. Can he pull off some heroics? 40 seconds. Has the bomb and an AWP, of course, with the Tech 9. But surely not.
Good luck, Shazam. You'll need it.
Definitely will. There's the first one. Nice flick shot. And of course, now his position's no. And a second as well. Hold the phones for a second. We could see something remarkable. I think that's just baited him into believing he can take this. Goes for the jump. Falls on the other side of the wooden panels here.
Well, the smoke might allow him to cross still.
Ice giving his position away with that shot. How is Shazam still alive? He's going to get this bomb planted as well. He's going to get pushed from his side. Oh, so unfortunate. I was beginning to believe towards the end, but Shazam will get taken down from Fallen's, what was that, 5-7 or P2000? Yeah, P2000. And Luminosity do pick up their round eventually.
Man, I went from sarcastically wishing him good luck to believing in about 2 seconds right there. I was like, he's got this. Able to drop that smoke, nicely done. Lets him cross into the site, and even still getting the bomb down. Might not seem like the biggest of deals in overtime, but we've seen without getting the bomb down and losing 2 in a row, your third round on the T site isn't actually very strong. So I mean, that could be a pretty important play that he made. I mean, to take a 1v4 like that and kill 2 and get into a bomb plant, that's pretty nice. And of course, they'll still have the money to go into the second round. But Luminosity are... I mean, maybe it's time that they just step up. We expected them to be favored in this series, but the maps have been so incredibly slow. The tournament has actually been pretty solid in terms of the way these maps have been going, at least in the games that we've been able to cast, that's for sure. But out here towards the B site, Conquest not faring too well, but wow, Rix. I mean, talk about this guy. Didn't expect to open that first map as much, but here he's about to drop a 40 bomb. 2 more kills and he'll be there, and he finds 3 to bring this round back from nothing into a victory.
Just run out of things to say about Rix, man. The guy is ridiculous. His entry frag potential is crazy. His clutching potential is crazy. I can't really see any weaknesses so far. At least not on this cobblestone map. On Trainee was quite quiet. Double AWP setup coming in for Luminosity on this, the final round of this half of our second overtime. 19 to 19, could not be any closer. It has been back and forth throughout. Nafly with the fast push on long, spots himself. Bolt is just going to be backing on away though. I can see there that Shazam with the AWP is up mid. He's looking for a pick, and it could see some action unfold, and it does take him down as well. Just switched across to see that shot. Pretty nice flick shot there. And that will put Conquest in an advantageous position, but their work's not quite done just yet. Unbeknown to them, there are no players on A now. The bomb is dropped in a position where maybe they're going to be forced into B, and that would be into the hands of 4 CTs. So although they did get the opening pick, if they push A, that may not matter.
Bolt's on the position at long plat. We've seen him be so good there in quite a few rounds. And once again, I mean, are we going to have deja vu again? Steal with the Max 7, Bolt on the back of the plat. He dodges that Molotov. This time he doesn't line up any players. Rush will find the opening frag here. That's when I thought that Conquest might be backing off to switch back to A. They do pull the trigger towards B. Steal, though, with the FAMAS is going to get 2. Rush will find Fur. It's a 3-on-2 Conquest man advantage. And wow, all those frags exactly at the same time. 3 on the board, and that'll be round 20 for Conquest.
Could bode well. They got 2 rounds, pardon me, on their CT side in the first overtime. So if they can do that again, they would be winning this map. Of course, 22 now, the magic number that both teams are vying for. Let's see if they're going to pick it up.
And no hesitation on that halftime. They should just flip things around and start it off. So Luminosity once again on the T side. Actually, I got to pull it up myself since the in-game doesn't keep track of it anymore. How exactly the overtimes have been going. We've got, let's see. I went 2 for the CTs. That was Conquest, and then 2. Okay, so 2 on CT each time. So this is the first time that 2 rounds for the Terra side of Conquest will mean Luminosity, of course. If they want to stay in this, well, if they want to win it, they got to get 3 Terrace rounds. If they want to stay in it, they got to get 2 themselves. For the triple overtime. Let's see, Rick's going to go up for that boost. We'll find another frag, and he is 1 away now from the big 40. As players are looking to pressure in towards drop, and the smoke goes down, and Steel will have cold feet and go the other way. And Rix is going to go right back up for the boost and just chase them out of here. He still hears, I mean, Bolts is making steps on the wood, so he knows that people are down there.
And this is like the first time that we've seen Conquest do this, and they're pulling it out in what, like the 40th round. That is such clutch play from Rix. He's picked himself up 2. That's going to set up Conquest perfectly to potentially win this overtime now. Bolt's getting flashed in long. Rush is going to be peeking across. I'm not sure if he caught a glimpse of Steel. May have just been smoking the way, but he's in such a good crossfire position with Nafly. There's Nafly locking down the angle. Bolts comes out peeking. Colt has managed to push his way through drop zone. Has picked up the first frag, but will be traded out 4-on-1 against Bolt. 26 seconds to play with. Chances slim to absolute none. And Conquest likely 21-19 ahead, just 1 round shy, have taken us to second overtime victory and that third map. 21-19, Conquest looking good here. A good buy up from Luminosity though. Are they going to go for an AWP? I'm curious to see if Fallen is. No, he's not. He's going to go for the AK-47.
Well, if things are going to turn around for Luminosity, it's got to be here. Steel bringing out the P90 money a little bit tight, but they've all got their nades, flashes, smokes, Molotovs ready to go. Let's see here. They're going to go towards B once more. It'll be only Cold. Sarah going out towards the middle. B side of middle, and 4 over towards B going... Oh, wow, that nade was disastrous. That hurt very, very badly, but 3 people able to drop in, rush to the bottom part of the window, spraying down 2. Sam with an op shot pulls out the 5-7 as his secondary, finds another frag there, so it will be Cold's the one man who went towards A that's got to do the 1v3. He throws a flash up out of danger towards that long hallway, trying to bait someone in. Daps is being kind of forced to watch that as a result, but Cold's doesn't have the bomb. Bomb is down the in drop. They've got to know this. And Cold's is just going to try to... I mean, you can try to waste some time, but when the bomb is down, CTs are less likely to split up and just play, you know, at each site. Although Nafly looking the other way could maybe get caught, but Daps will strafe across there in the back of CT spot at the perfect time. That'll be the final kill. Daps, you know, it's kind of, he gets the final kill of the game. He had a chance earlier, of course, in regulation to close it out with the 1v1. He doesn't do it, but he does find the final frag there to get 22 rounds on the board for Conquest, and they will win Cobble 22-19. We're going on to Inferno.
We'll be moving to that Inferno map, and what a best of 3 this has been. Both maps pretty much going the distance. First went the full 30 rounds, 16-14 to Luminosity. Double overtime victory. Unbelievable for Conquest and now Inferno. And I'd expect the players to take a little bit of a break here, Joey, because I think they'll be pretty exhausted after that action.
Yeah, and us casters as well. So we are going to take a quick break, guys. I want to remind you of the giveaway. There will be a slide up for that explaining how to get involved in winning some sweet gaming swag, computer, laptop, some peripherals as well. And then, of course, check out the point of view stream where you can vote for the player to watch in the next round. That's twitch.tv/iBUYPOWER2. Myself, Helium, and Metas will be right back to continue on in the semifinals of the iBUYPOWER Fall Invitational. Stick around.